Hi and welcome to the Cult TV Sofa. This is a reaction video for the 20th episode of Season 2 of Buffy the Vampire Slayer called Go Fish. You can check out the full reaction for this video on my new Patreon channel. Check out the link in the description below. Last time we saw a dead student and teacher from 1955 reenacting their fateful deaths by inhabiting people at the school. The student had shot the teacher after she'd finished their relationship because she was scared they would be found out. The student then shot himself in remorse or guilt. Giles was less helpful than usual to the group because in his grief he thought the ghost was Jenny. In the final showdown, Buffy entered the school and was possessed, as was Angelus. But the usual gender roles were reversed. This meant that Buffy shot Angelus, but being a vampire, he survived, which allowed the teacher to finally forgive the student before he completed the act of shooting himself. They then both moved on. Angelus was winding Spike up by getting closer to Drusilla, but after they left, Spike revealed to us that he'd healed from his injuries and was just biding his time to show his hand. So let's see what happens in this episode. I'm going to put any relevant trivia that I find over here, and at the end of the reaction I'll be discussing what happened and my thoughts about it. And I'm going to start it in 3, 2, 1.
All I'm saying is, it's a stupid idea to have a victory party at the beach. It's officially nippy. So say my nips.
I didn't realise, or I'm assuming this indicates that Sunnydale is near the coast, which I didn't know. I don't think they've mentioned the sea before, but it must be for them to be here. So, interesting detail.
It's about time our school excelled at something.
You're forgetting our high mortality rate.
I was about to say that. Not as eloquently as she put it, but yeah. Number 1 in the US.
It's just so...
Eternal. A true mother giving birth to new life.
He seems sleazy. I'm thinking bad guy.
So, Cameron Walker, you just won the state semifinals. What are you going to do next?
She knows him.
I'm going to hang out with Buffy Summers.
He knows her.
I just like being around you.
Come on, Johnny, you gotta hold your breath longer than that if you ever want to make a team.
Hey, let's get you a
No,
towel.
I don't mind your own business. I can handle this without your help.
Oh, that's... I can't remember his name, but we've seen him in a few episodes. And he had that same reaction that Xander had a few episodes ago when Buffy stepped in, when Xander was being bullied, for want of a better word. And Xander felt that it messed up his masculinity, basically, and made him look weak in front of the bully.
The creeps.
Oh, that's what's his name from Prison Break? Why is he looking all mysterious?
Ah, dude, what is that foulness? Hey, Todd!
So what's happened to him? Something eating him? That'll be a yes. Okay. Oh, that's a nice place to have a party like that and going in the water where they're right by some kind of sewage outlet. Lovely. So it looked like something had eaten him, or his insides.
Okay,
And she still teach him.
Gage, your pie chart is looking a lot like solitaire.
Yeah, she can't do anything. She's a student.
Nice work in yesterday's meet, son. Now, let's go for it.
Blimey, he's happy with a student.
We've been having trouble finding a competent teacher this late in the term. Do you think you could continue subbing through finals?
Continue subbing through finals, so she's now expected to get them through the important exams and things. I'm not going there. Not saying anymore. You all know how I feel.
I understand there's a problem with Gage Petronzi.
And his test scores are Well, actually, he doesn't have any test scores because he never shows up.
I'm interested in why, when this school is on the brink of winning its first state championship in 15 years, you slap a crucial member of that team with a failing mark that would force his removal.
I'm just trying to grade fairly.
We need to cut him some slack.
I'm literally fuming inside at this storyline. I've said in multiple episodes how crazy it is that she's not even covering. She's teaching the class and doing going through exams. She's marking their assignments. She is the teacher. And now he's come in and basically told her off for doing her job of marking the exams and marking them properly because he's an all-star. And I assume if he fails, it affects him being on the team. I think that's the usual thing, isn't it? I was seething inside, I didn't quite listen to what he said, but I know there's the usual thing. If their grades drop, then they get kicked off the team or something, usually. So he's basically telling her, I assume, to raise his grades. I mean, well, that's a horrible position to put a teacher in, yet alone a student. Moving on.
You're asking me to change his grade?
Yep.
I never said any such thing.
Yes, you did, without saying it.
And I think we'll find a grade more fitting to an athlete of Gage's stature.
You ever hear of a woman named Gertrude Ederle?
No.
No.
First woman to swim the English Channel.
She looks annoyed. She bored.
I mean, once I was
You know
out.
what, Cam?
Yes.
I've forgotten how nice it is to just talk. Or, in my case,
Listen. So basically he's just been talking and talking about swimming to her and she's bored out of her skull by the looks of it.
I'm comfy. I'm so comfy I'm nodding off, actually, which is why...
Are you wearing a bra?
Huh?
Come on. I mean, tell me you haven't been thinking about this.
Oh, you're about to get punched.
I should probably get out of this car.
Ooh.
I'm not going to hurt you.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's not me I'm worried about.
Yeah.
Like you're rough.
Oh.
I wasn't the attacker, Principal Snyder. I was the attacked.
That's not how
Not
it
what
looked
he
from where I was
saw.
standing.
Try to dress more appropriately from now on. This isn't a dance club.
Wow. That's perpetuating the thing of it was her fault. She dressed that way. She was asking for it, isn't it? That's awful.
Apparently some remains were found on the beach this morning.
Todd McAlvey's remains.
So something ripped him open and ate out his insides?
Like an Oreo cookie.
Yeah. I have to admit, that's how I eat, Oreos or things like that anyway. I do tend to take them apart, eat the cream, and then the biscuit. So I can relate. I'm not a monster though. Well, not in that way anyway. I have a feeling he's next. So that's some sort of drain in there, so I'm going to come up through the drains. What kind of high school has a sauna? I just realised that. Or steam room. Blimey, I went to the wrong school. We barely had school books.
Man, I love it when you guys mess with her.
I don't know if that was on purpose, but Xander was... It looked like there was quite a big height difference. I don't know if he was slouched over or if he is shorter. But he seemed to sort of lift himself up a little bit to try and make himself on the eye line. And so it looked to me anyway. But
God, what is that?
that's not a good sign. There was a strange smell before when the last guy died.
Oh my God.
Where is it? Behind you. Whoa.
You ran like a woman.
Hey, if you saw this thing, you'd run like a woman too.
I would. Not saying that I would run like a woman. Just to repeat. I'm not repeating that stereotype, but I would definitely be running as fast as my legs could carry me, which isn't that fast, but it'd be the fastest I've ever run before.
First and second, actually, which means if my theory is correct, Gage Petronzi, the third best swimmer on the team, would be the next item on the menu.
We're never going to win the state championship.
I was about to say the same thing, so I can't knock Cordelia for saying that. If they've lost, the swim team are doing well, and they've lost the two best swimmers, they haven't got a chance, realistically. So is something sensing that they are good swimmers and it's eating them? I don't know. What would a good swimmer have that makes them edible, or that something would want to eat them? Adrenaline? Don't know. Doesn't quite make sense. But it's eating the first, so the top swimmer, then the second one. So yeah, logically the third one's next.
If you're saying these killings are random, it would suggest someone's out for revenge.
Raise the possibility that someone brought forth this sea monster from whence it came to exact that revenge.
Ah, right. So, what if it's that that kid we saw being dunked in the water? Has he done something to get that creature to attack the swim team? That makes sense. It's like a revenge thing. I don't think there's anyone else we've seen that would justify revenge. Bet that's what it is.
Jonathan, he was bullied by Dodd the other day on the beach, remember?
Yeah, Jonathan.
It's a good call. You should question him.
Agreed.
Number 3 might benefit from your watchful eye and protection. Discreetly, of course.
I'm on it.
Which is a bit obvious. Magazine's upside down for one thing. He's got a Game Boy. Just a little detour quickly. I had a Game Boy when I was little. Had it for Christmas. My parents. I can really remember it. So I can't. How old I was? Can't remember. I was very young. There was an electronic game I wanted, but my parents. I did want a Game Boy, but I knew that they were expensive, so I knew I wasn't going to have one. But there was another game I wanted that was a lot cheaper. It was just like I think a flying game, but it was just, that's all it was. And I think my mum and dad looked at it, realised it wasn't worth the money, so they actually did buy me a Game Boy, but they didn't give it to me. We always opened our presents Christmas morning, and they didn't give it to me in the morning as usual. They sort of hid it. And then later in the day, they surprised me with the Game Boy. So I was playing Tetris, I think, for about 3 weeks solid. Although my sister did nick it a few times and played it, and then I think she completed it in the first time she played it, which really annoyed me. She was always like that. She was always good at things like that. So yeah, got good fond memories of the Game Boy. I always think of Christmas when I sort of see them. And that was the original one he had, I think, same as me. So yeah, sorry I'd mention it.
Wanted revenge, didn't you?
Blimey.
Yeah, okay. I did.
Conjured up a hell beast from the ocean's depths to wreak your vengeance.
What?
That'll be a no.
I snuck in yesterday and peed in the pool.
Whilst that is disgusting, being realistic, in a pool, the size of a pool, one person peered into it with all the chemicals in there, it wouldn't do anything. Nobody would notice. It would have no effect, I don't think. Not that I think it's a good idea, or would do that, or would want someone to do that, or probably that I would go into a pool knowing that someone had done it. But yeah, I don't think it would do any major harm. So the chemicals would kill everything off.
If we don't find someone by this afternoon's tryouts, we won't be eligible to compete.
You'll find someone. All he has to do is wear a bathing suit, right?
Is Xander gonna... Oh, that's probably not a good idea, but is Xander gonna join the team? She's awful at following someone, surprisingly. He's gonna think she fancies him.
There's something lurking out there, and it's making fillets of the populace, and I think you might be next.
Okay. Go for the honesty.
Cam told me about your games. Go find someone else to harass.
She's trying to save your life.
Bitch.
Gotta be talking about Buffy.
How'd you know?
Yeah. I've got a few things that go through my head, which I'll say in a minute. But how does he know that he was talking to Buffy? and off the top of my head, I can think of two ways. One, he saw them, so he's in there and hiding and in the shadows watching her, but she didn't see him. She needs to learn a few things from Angel, if that's, or Angelus, if that's the case, on how to spy on someone without being seen. Or he smelt Buffy on him. It's the best way I could think of putting it. Her scent, that when she was so close. I mean, there wasn't physical contact, but he might be able to smell her scent on him, which is a bit icky. But they do have enhanced senses, so that would kind of make sense. But don't know. Those are the two things that came to my mind.
Just so happens, I'm recruiting.
Oh. God, he's not got much luck, is he? He's either going to get killed by that other creature, and he's been attacked by a vampire.
Boy, Miss Summers.
Oh. Why is he spitting the blood out? And that's really cool that she had the thing in her hair, and she's going to use it as a weapon to have that on hand. So she always has a weapon ready to use. That's clever. Why is he spitting out his blood?
So he spit it out? I thought Angel liked blood. Or maybe there was something in Gage's blood that Angel didn't like.
Yeah.
So maybe whatever's in their blood is what's attracting this creature.
I was just about to pause and say that.
Oh. Oh, my.
Oh, that's...
Now that, girls, is my kind of...
yeah, that's more than I want to see of Santa.
I'm undercover.
Not much.
Not under much.
I'm dating a swimmer from the Sunnydale swim team.
You can die happy.
She does look happy.
Good, but the pages will probably get all wet.
Ah. I thought there was something coming out to the vents. Oh, not vent, drain. I'm guessing the creature's nearby.
Gage?
Why aren't you attacking the monster? Oh! So they weren't eaten, they changed. Those are the swim team, and the skins were just left behind. Good costumes there, to be fair. It's just a suit, but still, it wouldn't have been cheap. Okay, well that's the three best people on the swim team now changed. Can you bring them back? I would have said unlikely, but let's see. Ooh. That's quite cool.
You work so hard, you start to win suddenly. You think it's just you.
You never asked any of the boys if they were taking anything.
Maybe I was afraid to.
Yeah, but that's silly. If they have been taking stuff and they got tested, they'd be disqualified. So it's a bit silly for him not to be checking.
It's all there in the school medical records.
All symptomatic of steroid abuse. There must be something else in the mix. Why would they do that to themselves?
They needed to win. Xander, why don't you see if you can find out what these boys are taking? Or at least how they're taking it. Powders, pills, syringe.
I like how the sewers are always huge and you can walk around in them. You definitely can't do that in British sewers. They're literally just like a big pipe. And I say big, I got nothing to compare it to, but we're probably talking maybe about that wide. You can see. And they usually get blocked up with fat and stuff, so there's no way people could walk around like this and creatures would be in our sewers.
Breakfast of state champions, you betcha. Okay, so when do we get our next dose?
He'd be annoying the hell out of me.
The steroids. Where are they?
Aromatherapy. It's in the steam.
Oh. That means he's breathing it in. Well, at least it's fairly... He's new to the team, so he's not going to have had much of a dose, but... can you imagine if the press or parents found out that there were steroids being given to students in a steam room like that? I mean, the lawsuits, especially in America, the lawsuits would be huge.
Very close to perfecting this. We just need to adjust the mix.
So it's the two of them.
You've already lost 3. Lost? They're not lost. I'm just looking after my boys.
Oh.
But there's still a team. And a team's gotta eat.
Oh. So he's behind it all, and even though they're or is it was planned to change them into those creatures? That doesn't quite make sense though. If he wants them to win the swim-in, or was he just like still a team player, even though they're monsters, still looking after them? And he's thrown her down there to give him a little snack. This is and their teeth as well. That's gonna be a horrible way to die. It's gonna pop up. Oh. Or she's going to go under.
Know exactly what's in this steroid gas so that the hospital's toxicology lab can develop an antidote.
Tell me what's in the steam.
After the fall of the Soviet Union, documents came into light, detailing experiments with fish DNA in their Olympic swimmers. But they couldn't crack it.
And you did. Sort of.
I wasn't expecting that as the reason. So basically, the Russians were experimenting with fish DNA to enhance their swimmers. It's just got this image of, like, in the Olympics, it's got everyone stood there ready to dive into the water. You get to the Russian one, it's just like a person with a fish head ready to dive in the water and no one noticing. That's bizarre. And they couldn't crack it, but yeah, him as a coach in Sunnydale cracked it. Well, he obviously didn't crack. Well, he did partly because they have been winning until they turn into some sort of amphibious creature. Yeah, swings and roundabouts.
Do you understand? We have a shot at the state championship.
Well, not now.
Get in the hole. In. Now.
It's not very often she has to fight a human, proper human opponent with a gun, and especially a monster she can take on. But yeah, more difficult. So she's obviously been sent in there to, well, 11sies.
Well, they've already had their dinner. But boys have other needs.
Oh god, that's dark.
And I want you to know that I'll do everything I can to make your quality of life better. Whether that means little bath toys or whatever.
It's not him.
That's not me.
I think we can safely say we found Sean. He was in the pool skinless dipping.
This is just what my reputation needs. That I did it with the entire swim team.
There've been a lot more one-liners in this one than usual. Well, certainly in the recent episodes. I wonder if that's because in the last... Well, certainly the last episode and the last few before that have been quite... serious. It's not quite the right word, but they've been... they've not been as funny as previous episodes. I mean, we've had Jenny's death. Wasn't that funny? Last episode with the ghosts inhabiting the students was quite a slow, serious episode. It was, so I think they've put this one in just to lighten things a little bit. But I think by the looks of it, I think it needed it. She's at a bit of a disadvantage in the water. It's their habitat. Surprised he handled the coach so easily? Was that like a Slayer jump? She went under the water, compressed her legs to leap up. Oh! Oh, she saved him.
Grab my hand!
Okay, so even though he attacked them, Buffy did try and hold on, but she's weakened. I think they were showing that she is weakened by what's happened. She tried to hold on but couldn't. But then she's still trying to say, grab my hand and bring him up. So it kind of shows her her mentality that she's gonna get justice, not revenge. Although I have a feeling might not be justice, and the boys might get the revenge.
And then I'm meeting some of the guys for plasma transfusions at 5.
Okay, so they've got to have treatment.
I don't think we'll be seeing them anymore.
Where do you think they'll go?
Home.
To the sea. That must be hell to swim in those costumes, though. I mean, they'd fill up with water. So while they're diving and stuff, they'll be completely encased in water. I'd hope they have some sort of breather or something, but that would be horrible. It was quite a good episode. Like I said, it was a much lighter episode than we've had recently, and I said I think it needed it to break the darkness. I don't know what I'm trying to say. You know what I'm trying to say. They've been quite deep episodes. I think it needed something a bit lighter. Again, you've got 3 kids who have basically disappeared. I think they're their parents. I mean, I'm assuming they're not going to be told that they've been turned into monsters. They're just, I mean, I assume they're going to say something's eaten them because they've got the skins. I mean, that's just horrible. And they'll never come back. They're now gone and they're out there somewhere. Yeah. Odd. I don't quite get. No, I just thought it through, and I do actually. I was just thinking through the story. I was gonna say I don't get why the coach did it, but his intention wasn't for them to become monsters. He did it to improve their swimming ability. The turning into monsters was a side effect of the steroid drugs he was giving them, but he was a little bit nutty, and even after they turned into monsters, he still supported his boys, basically. Yeah. Interesting. So, basically, if the teachers don't die in Sunnydale, they're all a bit mad as well. So, yeah, great. Good place to be a student. Yeah. So, yeah, I enjoyed the episode. Say lots of good one-liners. Let me know what you thought in the comments below, and I shall see you for the next one. Be seeing you.